Hey guys, it's RodimusPrimal. I am back in another video, and today I'm going to talk to you guys about our first look at the new Transformers animated series, Earthspark. We also have some news as it regards to Rise of the Beasts, and on top of that, we are seeing some interesting licensed third-party Transformers that are coming out in the near future. So without further ado, let's sit back, relax, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and let's transform and roll out. Consider supporting the channel on Patreon, becoming a channel member, or purchase some merch on my spring store today. Okay, so the first thing that I want to talk to you guys today about is Jada, I believe. Jada Toys is making some interesting licensed Transformers products that I think a lot of fans will enjoy collecting. We actually have this Optimus, Bumblebee, and Starscream. They are now making a Sideswipe, Hot Rod, and Skyfire, or Jetfire. I'm not sure what they're calling him Jetfire. For that same line of figures, which is great because like I said, my kids actually play with the smaller vehicles around the house. So it's good to be able to have more of them, for the kids to play with. But they're also making some mini figurines as well of a bunch of G1 characters. They're making some, movie action stuff with some super deformed characters as well. But the one thing that I found of interest was this thing right here. They are making a remote control transforming Optimus Prime. Now, I know there is the $700 RoboSen Optimus Prime, which is great for people who have the money for it. But if you're looking for an inexpensive RC vehicle that transforms, that you can have fun with your family and you don't have to worry about it getting smashed to a million pieces, this is perfect. Now this same company makes a Mickey Mouse remote control vehicle that this one in particular is what my son plays with all the time. So this is actually perfect for them as well, so that families like myself, like I have two small kids that enjoy Transformers with me, and this allows me the opportunity to share more with them. The other interesting thing to take note of is that Rise of the Beasts is actually going to be licensing some more Transformers product outside of Hasbro as well, because Lego, according to rumor, is going to be teaming up with Transformers to make a Rise of the Beast version of Optimus Prime that is a fully, 1,500 pieces. Wow. We have no actual images yet. We only currently know that it's going to be around $200 for the set, which is rather expensive if you ask me. But it's worth it for people who really love Legos and want an Optimus Prime. I don't know if we'd be able to afford that, but some folks, they love Legos. This is awesome. And until we get some more images, this is all that we know. But what we have found out is that Rise of the Beasts has now been announced to be the first part in a trilogy of films. So the movie's got to be, we're hoping the movie is going to be good enough to be able to produce two more. Because it is going to be a sequel to Bumblebee. And from what we can tell, this is not only going to be the first of a new, what they said it was a storytelling universe, but this kind of confirms what we have speculated for so long, is that this particular movie does set the events with Bumblebee being the first of that movie franchise of rebooting Transformers for live action films. They're abandoning the Michael Bay films as a whole. And for some fans, I know you guys are going to get fully upset because, you grew up on Michael Bay's films, but even though The Last Night was terrible, you would like to see what happens after The Last Night. Well, they don't seem to be wanting to do that because they want to be able to make money for the films. And so it does seem that, they're going to be continuing on with Transformers as a live action film franchise with this new storytelling universe that they're telling. I don't know where they're going to go with it. And I'm hoping that Rise of the Beast is good. I'm being cautiously optimistic. And I think that no matter where you stand as a Transformers fan, you should be too, but you should want Transformers to be able to continue with new good storytelling. And they're also going to be doing a new obviously the new animated series, but then as I talk about this new animated series, it looks like they're going to do a CG animated theatrical film, and I'm wondering if the theatrical film for the CG animated film is going to be actually in line, or maybe necessarily in the same continuity as this new show. And with that, we have our first look at Transformers Earthspark, a brand new name for a brand new Transformers cartoon that is going to be airing on Nickelodeon, of all places, which is interesting because usually, it's been on Cartoon Network, it's been on, at one point it was on Discovery Family, at one time it was called The Hub, and now Nickelodeon is going to be hosting this new Transformers cartoon. And we already can see here, we have Optimus Prime and Elita 1. Familiar faces, while being a brand new show that we don't necessarily know if it is set in a new universe or if it is a continuation of an existing Transformers universe. And I'll explain to you what I mean by that, in a moment. But what is the show? Hasbro and Nickelodeon has issued 3 stills and a brief clip for their upcoming Transformers animated series. This announcement is also their title reveal for Transformers Earthspark. We now know that Nick Roche has tweeted that he has worked on the art design of the show. If you're familiar with Nick Roche's art, he worked on IDW Comics. He did a lot of great work for like the Wreckers comics, for Transformers, in IDW. And his robot designs have a very stylized look to them, which is pretty cool. I will say he does make some pretty cool artwork for Transformers. And you have a very familiar looking Optimus Prime, which matches the Evergreen design for him. And he has a weird symbol on his shoulder, which everyone's trying to figure out whether or not this is an Autobot. The Autobot symbol is very small. It's right there. Very, very small. It's kind of hard to see. And then you have like some weird like tree branching, symbol around it, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me. And then you have the familiar face of Elita 1. And I like this design for Elita 1. It blends her War for Cybertron look and her G1 appearance and gives her a really cool look, overall. And it's also her first time, I think, that I can remember that she's been on Earth, which is cool. Very cool. But what's the actual synopsis of the show is that Transformers Earthspark from Nickelodeon and Hasbro's Entertainment One, launching globally in the fall of 2022, so that's when it's going to air. It's going to air in September of this year, is a 26-episode action comedy series, introduces a new generation of Transformers robots, the first Transformers robots to be born on Earth, together with a human family who welcomes them in and cares for them. They'll redefine what it means to be a family. Now, taking that synopsis on the surface, I'm hoping that the show is able to bridge the gap between families, older fans, and their kids. So that a younger generation can embrace Transformers just as much as the older fan can. And looking at the images, the animation is okay. It could use some work. Maybe they're still working on the finalized designs. They needed to show off a clip just to show the work that they're doing until the final designs or the final animations are made and rendered. But at least we got a first look. And taking a look, this is the human family that is going to embrace these new Transformers. And you have this one robot here, is in all white, and then the second one is in red. Now, I'm looking at these robots as a whole, and if you look at this particular Transformer right here, it's a smaller one, transforms into this red. Is this a sidecar or is this a drone? We don't know. We don't know what he transforms into. We know that we have a motorcycle here that transforms into a robot, and looking at the still images, this is a very Nick Roche looking robot. This is a compliment because all the panels go someplace. All the wheels, the way the robot actually is designed is something that Nick Roche would design when it comes down to Transformers robots, which is a good thing. It means that he has an understanding, at least as far as like where things should go on a robot. And I'm hoping that any familiar Transformers characters that get introduced in this show have a familiar look to them, and any new Transformers characters get introduced have something unique about them that newer fans can embrace. That's the thing. Again, I'm a firm believer in bridging this gap between older and younger fan, something that is lacking a lot lately. This is a first look. We don't necessarily know anything more than what we can see here, right? We have this image of the robot is trying to befriend the humans. Elita 1 is firing on some robot spider. And looking at her design, look at her on her waist here. It looks like that is a door to her vehicle mode. And then the tire, maybe she's an SUV or a monster truck. That would be kind of neat for Transformers, something to give her an Earth mode. Because something she's never really had, right? She's always been a Cybertronian car. So maybe her new robot design is designed to give her a vehicle mode that matches her character as, like, let's say, second in command of the Autobots, or at least this version of the Autobots. And then you have Bumblebee. And this version of Bumblebee kind of the evergreen designs. So I'm hoping that this new show is good. I don't know how good it's going to be. I'm cautiously optimistic. I think that the younger demographic is probably going to watch it and enjoy it. And I'm hoping that the younger fan and the older fan are able to watch it together. That it doesn't feel like you're pushing the older fans to the side while trying to introduce new ones, that you're doing a good job of both. And with that, I want to know what you guys think. Do you think this show is going to be any good? Do you think that the live action films are going to be any good, starting with Rise of the Beasts? And are you excited about some of the third-party stuff that's being made? Of course, leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Be sure to thumbs up this video and subscribe. Check out my other videos as well. I have many more Transformers discussions and retrospectives and news videos coming down the pipeline, so stay tuned for all that. And as always, guys, until next time, till all are one.